at Walker Hill Hotel, and we said, what is the worst token idea you've seen? And we started talking, but there were some really, really bad ideas. And this was incredibly insightful to us. And we said, well, can we outdo them? Can we come up with the worst token ever? We got a lot of people around the table. This is still 2018. You can still come up with tokens, and people would buy them for some odd reason. And we said, okay, cool. Let's put those ideas together in what we called the grade paper. And this thing was putrid. You can see it's full of like spelling errors and all these great things. We had all kinds of great people involved. Ideas like exponential acyclic graphs and just making up words, and everybody was getting in. The most important thing about it is we deleted the function of the number going down, so number only go up. This is very, very crucial. Other thing is, it's a stable coin, of course. 1 PTK will always be equal to 1 PTK. So the number's going up, but there's always one, so you have to get in. Doesn't sound like anything bad at all. The TLDR about this whole thing, of course, because we needed to have utility, was there was really 4 parts. The first is, you get PTK, this is great. If you want to go out and you want to pitch an idea to VC or anybody else, well, you got to pay them to listen to PTK. And if they like your idea, they will give you PTK as an investment. It's a circular economy. Then, of course, slow down. We're all rich, this is perfect. It was a shitcoin, right? But not any shitcoin. As we heard from the illustrious Nuro Rubini, it's the world's greatest shitcoin. But of course, lest we forget, for every dumb idea, somebody else has already come up with that idea. After pitching this thing at the economy, all of us are announcing that we're part of the foundation. We started the foundation, of course, we didn't. Somebody bothered to Google this thing, we found out, well, there was a pitch token. So, not missing a beat, Mr. Tim Swanson brought us through a pivot. We became Pitch Token Classic with a K. We got rid of everything else. We kept with the main ideas. We got Jeff's vision. Every couple of weeks we fork. Anthony brought that up this morning. So we all got even richer, which is great. This is the main purpose of PTK. Of course, we were all worried about the price of Ether going down, because number could only go up. So we deleted some more functions. We started doing some great things, including actually launching the token. But we said, well, we're not going to do like this launching the token and try to be real for an ICO. We're going to do an initial kitchening. With this kitchening, we created our token without any code. It just went on. We found some website that lets us do it. And we created a bunch of them. 15 billion of them to be exact. This thing exists. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. You can see all the holders of it, and it's great. And it worked. Perfect. Then we said, well, okay. Our token needs to show other people. We know it has value. We need to show other people it has value. So we need to get it listed. We called around some exchanges. They weren't so sure. They said, look, we know you got some great people in here. We love that you have some no-coiners advisors. We had people from Consensus, from R3, from all these big name companies. They still weren't convinced. So what did we do? Of course, we're entrepreneurs. So what did we do like everybody else? We found somebody that didn't ask any questions. Decentralized exchanges. We listed ourselves. In fact, we delisted, we decentralized listed ourselves. But of course, because we couldn't trust the market doesn't know yet about PTK, we had to do some self-trading. So I did 100% of the trading. Not very big quantities, of course, because I didn't want to invest too much actual money into this thing. And I issued all these tokens, and I started trading a fraction of a token until we worked the number up. Of course, they can be gained. We saw these volumes. We worked them up starting from, let's just go from a fraction of an ether, I think it was a tenth of an ether. The second trade was for 1 ether, then 10 ether, then 100 ether, then 1,000 ether. Which meant we were the most valuable by market cap token on the face of the planet. Woo! This is it. We're in.
Okay, the dream.
This is it. This is a dream. We're all rich. This is great. Although I had all the tokens. But I promised him a bunch of them. How rich? $3.6 quadrillion. What's up? Of course, all of this had to keep going. We need to talk about the great things, spread the pitch, and that's why we're back. You can see we've got these great shirts. We needed to bring this thing into reality. Let me give you a feeling of how big it is. I think people have probably seen this thing before. How much money there is on the planet. Let's talk a bit about this. So, the first little dot you see kind of up in the middle of the screen, that's the total cryptocurrency market. Of course, the total cryptocurrency market. A little bit next to that is gold. Gold is much bigger than cryptocurrency. We've got a lot of room to go in cryptocurrency. You've all seen this, right? All the money in the world is slightly bigger than that, 95 trillion, 96 trillion. Stock markets are 78 trillion. These are big numbers, right? Big numbers. Global debt, quarter of a quadrillion. Starting to get big. Real estate, about the same. You put all this together, the total value of all the value of the Earth, or I guess the worth of the Earth, is 1.2 quadrillion. That's a big number. 1.2 quadrillion. If we put it in Korean won, that's even bigger. So let's I don't even know what comes after a quadrillion. So we're not going to go that way. How big is PTK? PTK is 3.6. So we can now say that we are 3 times bigger than the entire Earth in value. But we still got a long way to go, because number can only go up. Of course, and this is a decentralized project, which means as more people get in, more people start filling. Of course, our consensus mechanism being the only scalable mechanism, proof of shill, we can keep growing this thing infinitely until we take over the entire solar system. Remember, there's one reason we're all here. Get rich quick is the most powerful incentive. So when you want a real utility token, what's a utility? Being able to buy a Lambo, being able to buy a yacht, being able to buy one whole PTK. That's utility. Can we talk a bit about the whole solar system? We want to be decentralized. We heard about the SEC, they talked about this thing called the Hinman test. Of course, this is one of the tests that PTK passes, in addition to the Howey test and its driver's license. We want to be at least as decentralized as the solar system. Obviously, being very big, covering far reaches all the way out to Pluto, which is up to Connecticut. Thank you. 99.86% of the world's, the solar system's mass is made up by the sun. So we said we can do better than that. This is almost as decentralized as XRP, by the way. So we did the same. We got down to 99.8278%. Officially, PTK had made it. We are more decentralized in the solar system. This is important, because now the SEC can't come after us. I don't want them to come after us. What I can make as an announcement today, and further pushing our decentralization, is the fact that all of you are now PTK holders. You've all been airdropped. You can look at the back of your tickets. You've got a private key somewhere in there. You're going to look really deep in there and join this. Find that private key. You've got $1 trillion each. It's a big number. Congratulations to all of you for being mega rich. And the number's only going to go up, so by next week it's going to be worth 100 billion, quadrillion, whatever it is. Obviously, a lot of this is a joke. I mean, come on. How serious are these guys talking about PTK? It is great. We've got some great advisors, including Vitalik, Muriel. We've got Tim Swanson. We've got Anthony. When he's not shilling his book, he's shilling PK. And Quota. Obviously, a lot of this is a joke. But I mean, really what we want to hit on, guys, is people can get up and they can say, look, that's a scam, this is a scam. Let's have fun with this. Let's look at the things and say, we can come up with our own currency. We can show you. You can be a quadrillionaire too. What are the other metrics we can look at? Oh, well, those are going to get gamed too. Well, why don't we just look at the team and see who's behind it? We can game that too. There's probably some value out here. We like blockchains, they're cool. But there's a whole lot of crap. Like a lot of crap. Why are we investing in this? How do we get rid of it? How do we throw away these junk tokens that are just trying to play people? The big centralized tokens that want to move money around the world, be it through some bridge currency setup. Why don't we get rid of the idea of crypto hedge funds that are trying to come up with some kind of strategy? They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. They're playing with these metrics that we gain. Why are we letting them do this? Why are we giving them so much money for this? They must realize it's a joke too. They're just here for your money. They're here for the get rich quick. At least be honest about it. That's what we're trying to do. Thank you. Where's the value? I mean, we heard some good ideas. People talked about censorship resistance and all this other great stuff. And we heard some really interesting things from Andreas. But how do we get into that? How do we get deeper? How do we find out where those projects really lie? I think we need to stop throwing money at experiments, guys. We need to stop throwing millions and billions of dollars to drive up market caps. We need to stop trying to say that we have a hedge fund with some strategy and viruses spreading and all this crap. Like, it's not time to short the bankers and long Bitcoin. It's time to think about what the hell you're doing. It's time to look at it and say, can we joke around? Can we get back to this being fun and an experiment? Can we get back to the PTK methodology? Always be shilling, but don't be investing. So, if I can get you guys to take away one thing here, it's really this. Let's have more fun. Let's just do more shilling. Let's all try to learn more about what we're doing. Let's stop trying to believe all this crap that we're selling ourselves and say these metrics and these volumes and these market caps, these are things that can be relied on. And let's look a little bit deeper. I mean, we do have this wonderful database of some sorts that everybody's supposed to be looking at. It's supposed to be a source of truth. How many people actually look at a blockchain, right? How many people in this room have looked at a blockchain? Okay, there's like 5 people. So other than those people, I know Tim doesn't look at them. Other than those people, why don't we move on? Why don't we look at this type of thing? Think about what we're doing and don't just buy the day. Thank you very much. That is it. All your PTK you can find on the back, private keys. If you don't find it, Anthony Lewis over here will give you a backup private key. Thank you very much, everyone.